Hey, how's it going? Welcome to the first Java tutorial video. I kind of was looking at other YouTube tutorials for Java because I wanted a couple of my friends to learn how to do Java programming, but I actually couldn't find any that actually did it the way that I think is optimal to teach someone Java or how college taught me Java. It seems like the ones on YouTube are a little bit too confusing and they scare you away in the beginning because they teach you things like how to download Java, like what objects are, what functions are, like all these things that you should probably learn later. So I decided to make a video myself. How I want to start this video is go to this link. What this link is, it's a Java compiler. So this just means you can put in Java code here and run it, and then it shows the output on the right side. So instead of downloading Java on your computer, downloading an IDE, which is a program that runs Java code, and all these things that might scare you away, I just want to make it as simple as possible and just send you to this link so you could program. And I'll also put this link in the bio. Um, cool. So the first video I'm going to talk about variables. And this is just the code that's already here. And what this does, this is called a hello world. Usually when you start programming in any language, the first program that you create is a hello world application. And what a hello world application is a program that just says hello world when you run it. So if I click run, this is the output of the program. You could ignore this first line. I'm also going to tell you what else you could ignore. You could ignore this. Pretty much you can ignore all of this. But what this line does is it's a print line. So that's print line. So it's system out print line. And then whatever's in here is going to be printed. So don't try to memorize this. You don't need to know this right now. But just know that anything that's in the parentheses is going to be printed out over here as output. So the first thing I want to talk about is the smallest component of any programming language is the variables and the different types of variables. So you might have seen this before when someone says int x equals 5. So let's break down this line. This is a variable type. It means integer, which means you're going to be putting a number in this variable. X is the name of the variable. So this could be anything you want. It could be whatever. That's just the name. And then this is the value. So this line is creating an int variable. This is the name of it. Let's call it something else. Just call it YouTube. And it's putting the value 5 into it. So int YouTube equals 5. So to prove that this is actually storing the value of 5, we could do system out print YouTube, which is it's gonna output this variable's value. So if I click run, it'll say 5. And then there's a few other types of variables. There's one called a char. And what a char is, it's one letter. So it's actually short for a character. So if you, in ints you could only store numbers, in chars you could only store one character. There's Boolean, which is just a true or false. So happy equals false. And again, these are just the names. So these could be, actually, we don't want the same name, but these could be anything you want. These are just what you're labeling the variable that you're creating. And then there's a string. And what a string is like a whole word or a sentence. So it could be like sentence. It's pretty much just anything in the middle of two quotations. So then so if we want to, let's output happy and let's run and pause the video and try to see what it's going to be. But as you can see, it's false because the value. Okay, just to continue, I want to show you how you could change a variable. So on line 7, we made a variable called YouTube and we set it to 5. Now, let's say I want to change YouTube to 10. We'll write YouTube equals 10. And that's it. So now YouTube is 10, and if I run this and I output YouTube, it's going to show 10 because it started as 5, and then as the compiler went line by line, because it does go top down, it's going to be 5 over here, and then it's going to change to 10, and then when we print it, it's going to be 10. So let's run it, and it shows 10. And then here, let's output again lower, and let's set it to 18. Now, can you pause the video and figure out what's going to happen? We're setting it to 10, we're printing, we're setting it to 18, we're printing YouTube. What is it going to say? 10 and then 18. Cool. So now I want to show you how we can do operations in Java. So there's plus, minus, multiplication, division, modulus, increment, and decrement. So let's go through this. YouTube equals 10 plus 15. So now what is the output going to be? The output is 25. If you guess 25, you are correct. Then there's subtraction. Same thing, we just switch the plus with the minus. Now it's -5. Multiplication is just a star. It's going to be 150. Division is just a slash. Two. Modulus returns the division remainder. So if it's like 31 mod 15, 31 divided by 15, the remainder is 2. And then increment is, oops, no. Yeah, the mod should have been 1, so that was kind of, I was like confused why it says 2. But yeah, the remainder, if you do 30 divided by 15, it's 2, and the remainder is 1. And then increment is just plus plus, so 2 plus plus means we're adding 1 to it. So if it was 5, it's now supposed to be 6. And then minus minus does the same thing the other way. Cool. So now you could start messing around with Java. You could make another variable. Let's do int Twitter equals 4. And then you can be like YouTube equals 5 plus Twitter. So this is going to be 5 plus Twitter, which is 4. So YouTube is going to be 9 if we run it. Sweet. And then you could also make a new variable like this, int Facebook equals Twitter plus YouTube, which is going to be YouTube plus Twitter. 5 plus 4, 9. If we output Facebook, 9. And again, these could be anything. It could be Ferrari, it could be house, it could be your name, it could be anything you want it to be. So these are just kind of labels for your variables. So yeah, that's kind of what variables are and what operations are, and these are just building blocks for you to be able to program and create a lot more in Java, which we'll be talking about in future videos. But now that you have this basic knowledge, you could start messing around with it and make little formulas, adding things, subtracting things, and printing things. So yeah, thank you for watching.